Hello and welcome to your Northwest Minnesota labor market update for July of 2021. My name is Carson Gorky and I am a regional labor market analyst with the Department of Employment and Economic Development, also known as DEED. Over the next couple minutes, I will provide the latest jobs and labor force updates and discuss the new Q1 quarterly census of employment and wage data that was just released and provides us with the most detailed look yet into some interesting employment and wage trends in Northwest Minnesota. Let's start with the unemployment and labor force numbers. The regional unemployment rate rose to 4% in June. This matches previous seasonal increases from May into June, typically as the school year wraps up and many education-related employees become at least temporarily unemployed over the summer. This rate is still tied for the third lowest since the end of 2019. At the same time, the labor force increased by nearly 5,500 and the number of employed also grew by 3,600, representing the first time since December of 2020 that the total number of people working or looking for work climbed above 300,000 in Northwest Minnesota. The labor force remains about 7,000 workers below June 2019 levels. DEED's Quarterly Census of Employment and Wages, or QCEW program, provides employment and wage information for all industries and at detailed geographies throughout the state. These data show that while the absolute number of jobs was lower in the first quarter compared to the previous 3 quarters, over the year the first quarter continued to trend closer to past employment levels. The second quarter of last year, for comparison, was down 11.2% over the year. The third and fourth quarters were down 5.8% and 5% over the year respectively. While most sectors lost jobs between Q1 2020 and Q1 2021, there was one very notable exception. The construction sector added over 2,500 jobs, expanding 27.7%. While this growth occurred during the typical seasonal off-season for construction, it is still astounding. Contrary to the overall employment trends, the average wage for the total of all industries increased 7.9%, from $818 to $883 per week. Wages also grew faster than employment in the construction sector, ballooning nearly 38% over the year, more than double the next largest wage increase, which occurred in real estate, rental, and leasing. Lastly, total quarterly payroll in construction increased by a whopping 75.7%, while the average for all industries was plus 4.5%. Without the construction sector, over the year overall employment change drops from down 3.2% to down 4.6%. Average weekly wage growth falls from 7.9% to 5.5%, and total payroll decreases from 4.5% growth to 0.7% growth. Within the construction sector, the large job growth was driven by gains in heavy and civil engineering construction, specifically utility system construction and other heavy and civil engineering construction, indicating that it was large projects buoying construction activity. In fact, utility system construction employment nearly quadrupled. By comparison, the other two subsectors, construction of buildings and specialty trade contractors, added only a combined 219 jobs over the year. Among other industries, transportation and warehousing and wholesale trade also experienced employment growth over the year in quarter 1. The largest losses belonged to arts, entertainment, and recreation, which were down 19.2%, and accommodation and food services, which was down 17.1%. As two of the hardest hit industries throughout the pandemic, they continued to lag. Those two industries also had the lowest average weekly wages, supporting the finding that it was primarily low-wage workers that lost jobs throughout the pandemic, especially early on in the shutdown. More recently, there were stories of rising wages in industries struggling to hire, including those in leisure and hospitality. However, while the average weekly wage in arts, entertainment, and recreation grew 15%, it expanded only 1.2% for workers in accommodation and food services jobs. These trends point toward a choppy and incomplete recovery that differs widely by industry. To summarize, while the number of employed and the labor force expanded, so did the number of unemployed at an even faster rate. A more detailed look at the recovery has emerged with the release of the first quarter QCEW numbers. Employment and wage levels continue to improve relative to previous years, and while some sectors, like construction, are faring well, the extent of recovery has varied significantly by industry. For more information, visit our website or contact me or any of the regional analysts with your questions. We will be happy to help you access and understand the information and data you are looking for. Thank you and have a great day.